All right. And go. I'm going to have build plans in the future, but I'm just going to be kind of improvising where I'm building things right now. It's a small time save. Think I did that wrong? No, okay, we're good. Do I have? Yeah, I do have enough. Okay, so you there. Think we're okay. You know, I'm going to do the split on the all clear. When it goes to black, I think. That should be the end of the mission. Okay. Okay, and go. This is a very simple mission. There's just one attack. So the trick here is that I need to control one of the Marines slightly so that one of the Marines takes the shots from the pod and the other one takes the shots from the enemy Marine. Like that. So the pod should be aiming at the one directly in front of it, but then the enemy Marine... Oh! That's not how that went in practice. Okay, well, we're fine. This is just going to take a little bit longer. I guess I have to wait for 4 shots instead of 3. It worked with 3 before. We're fine, though. Okay, it's going to be the 2 in the back that have the anti-pod. Need the 8, okay. Okay, anti-pod. Yes. This is an important one, so I'm just double checking it. That's easy to screw up. Okay, that worked. Where is it? Here. Yeah, there. And we need you to here. This will get a little bit smoother as I actually plan things out in more detail. That gives me a significantly better chance to land these 2 Marines. This will be a little bit long because I have to do 1 Marine each side. So each of these 2 Marines has to kill a pod, 2 anti-airs, and a base, which is a combined 38 shots. So this battle should end around the 22-second mark, maybe 21. And then there's one more base up north on this map. Okay. The next one has to be the other antipod. Okay, and it's northeast. Okay, good. So this should finish off this mission. And when you destroy the last base, the mission ends immediately. You don't have to destroy anything else around you. Actually, I should have controlled that one. It's alright. Because I don't need to destroy that anti-air. I just need to destroy the gun pod so that he won't kill my Marine before the base dies. But the mission will end after this because it's the last enemy base. So I don't need to kill those gun pods and missiles over to the right. Okay. Grampus. 3 energy, 2 Marines. Okay. Right. South one's going to be anti-marine. Marines take 21 seconds to build. But I built energy first. It's going to be a little slower, and I need a total of 60 energy for this mission. There we go. Okay, it's going to be here with both Marines. A lot of these dropships will have varying chances of failure, but the chances are mostly very low the way I routed it. This has about a 2.5% chance to be shot down, which just would be a reset the run. The worst chance comes in mission 18, which has, I believe, a 24% chance to be shot down. Alright, so I'm going to want the North Marine on the map going to the last base. This one's a freebie. Right now in the routing, I'm taking very few risks, but as a result, I'll be taking a little bit longer to kill some bases. Later on, I may try faster strategies that take bigger risks, like saving up more energy, which takes less time to double team a base like this, so that it gets killed faster. Saves a few seconds. It's not a very serious time gain. At least not for this early in the speedrun routing process. Okay, next is Iceberg. This one's also a pretty easy one. Actually, this is a guarantee. There's no way for this mission to fail. Okay, we're going to need to switch the upgraded Marines to pod and the regular Marine to anti-Marine. And we're waiting on 60 energy again. The regular Marine goes to the back base. Toward the end of missions, there's going to be an awful lot of waiting as we just wait for the last base to die. A lot of later missions, though, the energy is pretty tight, and I don't want to save up more and make things slightly faster because it would be a very high risk of being attacked, which getting attacked by the enemy in this is an enormous time loss. It can cost you like a minute. Okay, now we take both upgraded Marines. And this should be the end of the mission. Upgraded Marines are much, much tankier. They don't do damage faster, but they have a lot more HP. As a matter of fact, the in-game weapons don't actually give you more damage against that particular target. So these anti-pod weapons are not actually for damaging pods. They make the Marines more resilient to pod fire. They actually increase your defense, not your attack. Nice and quick. Okay, Eurostorm 1. This is going to be an expensive mission. There's a lot to do here. So we're going to be able to hear. This also has some really rough terrain to build on. So this one I actually did plan out in a more detailed fashion where I'm going to put everything. Need 3 energy. Now I can't forget to upgrade this missile. And I need 84k energy, and 2 Marines, both Marines need to be switched to anti-Marine weapons once they finish building. Okay, now we are waiting for 84 energy. There we go. Okay, first order of business is it takes 6 missiles to kill an enemy base. I got this strat from Guiboard Synth, who's the other person working on this game right now. This was a really clever idea. This particular enemy base up front in the northwest is covered by pods on the horizontal sides rather than diagonal ones. Like this, like it creates a cross instead of an X. And that means any Marine approaching needs to face either 2 of those pods or the pod and the Marine. So missiles are just a better solution for this. You would need to attack it with 2 Marines at once to really get through. It takes 6 missiles to kill a base, so I'm using 4 singles and 1 double. Using the double saves a little bit of time, but there really isn't money to spare from the way I routed this to be able to attack with 2 doubles. So I kind of have to split it into 2 attacks. Okay. This Marine is not going to take any damage, so he will be fresh for the last attack here. I'm going to be facing off against the first elite enemy Marine. So I need to use 2 of my own Marines to counter him. He's only using a normal weapon, though. It's not anti-Marine. Okay. Now we take the double missile, which is not done yet. I needed to wait for that. I guess I upgraded it late? Hang on. Okay, we're good. Just need to get that attack off before I get hit. When you attack the enemy is more likely to attack you in return quickly. I think this is... yeah, that's right. Which is why I'm saving up all the energy and doing one quick salvo of powerful attacks to wipe out everything, because if I attack early, then I'll get counterattacked earlier than I normally would. I need to kill him all pretty much in 1 second of the in-game timer. And that should be that. Eurostorm 2. Let's see. Yeah, this one has a decent chance for a dropship to fail, to be shot down. This is the first really big chance. It's kind of the early game wall. So I might reset here if that fails. So we need 2 energy, 4 Marines, 2 missiles. One of the Marines is going to have to be an anti-pod. I'm going to put that one up in the upper right corner, I think. We need 84 energy here. Anti-pod for you, and we're waiting on 84 energy. Okay. Now, we want 2 normal Marines up here. Was it? Okay, glad I checked that. Yeah, that's right. Antipod is the northeast, I have to remember that one. Another strat I got from Weeboard. It's much faster to go down the hill than to start down here and climb up. Although I haven't actually timed that. Okay, now we need missile to the south center radar, which means here. And I need to go... right, this is the anti-pod. And the reason this has to be anti-pod, even though a normal weapon Marine can take out a pod normally, is because this one's uphill. When you're going uphill, you're going much slower, and the pod can start firing on the Marine before the Marine gets in range. So this one does have to carry an anti-pod weapon to last long enough to take out the pod on the top of the hill. After this, like, those attacks were both guarantees, but the next attack is actually not going to be a guarantee. This will have about an 11% chance to be shot down, my next attack. So this is the early game wall. This is where some resets can happen. Okay. So this one needs to be a fresh marine. Well, no, it doesn't have... Yeah, it has to be a fresh marine, but it's not that critical. Okay, there. I'm flying over as little anti-air cover as possible while still getting the base in the targeting, like the landing zone. Interesting quirk about this game that people notice pretty quickly when they start playing for the first time is that the Marines land in a 6x6 zone, and if you position that zone correctly, anything outside can't participate. So you can actually exclude enemy gun pods and Marines from combat just by where you put the frame, which is why scouting is so really crucial in this game. Neat trick, and it really helps the speedrun. It means we don't have to engage with a lot of the enemy ground forces and defenses. Okay, that should be it for Eurostorm 2. Up next, Eurostorm 3. There are 20 missions in this game. We're coming up on the midway point pretty soon. Okay, I need 1 energy and 5 Marines. Alright, we go this way. One of the Marines needs to have anti-marine weaponry. One, two, three, four. So I'll put the one that has the anti-marine weaponry by itself. Now we're waiting for 80 energy. Okay, anti-marine there, get the 80 energy, and go. Alright, marine, it doesn't matter which one, to center base. Just here. Excluding the one on the island, like the North Island, the enemy bases in this mission are really poorly defended. So the Marines will get away with a completely safe attack. I usually count in my head because it takes 23 shots from a single Marine to kill a base, but I have lost count. I was thinking about something else. Now we have the same thing again. We can even reuse the same Marine because it didn't get hit. And we have to go here. The last Marines will be up against an enemy Marine. Okay, go here. Marines will generally target the closest thing to them. The exception when they first land if there's several targets equally distant. They will base their targeting on what weapon they're carrying, which means if they're the same distance away from a soft target like missiles and an enemy Marine and they're carrying anti-Marine, they will go for the Marine. If they're next to a gun pod in a base and they're carrying an anti-pod weapon, they'll go for the pod first. But if they're carrying a normal weapon, they will I think the decision is based on which has the least HP or something. I'm not 100% sure. Haven't had a reason to test that just yet. Okay. Last two Marines get sent here, and the one in front is going to be carrying the offensive against the enemy Marine, which is an upgraded Marine, but it has the wrong weapon. This one's carrying an anti-pod weapon, which means I have an advantage. And so I'm not going to worry about the back Marine coming in to help, because this guy's doing pretty okay by himself. That, like, I think, I'm not 100% sure about this, but I think an unupgraded Marine can handle, like with an anti-Marine weapon, can handle an upgraded Marine with an anti-pod weapon. Artemis. Okay, this is an early wall. He even says in the dialogue here, you will not cross this defensive line. And he's not kidding. This is a very well-defended base. That was the wrong way. That's fine. There's plenty of building space in this mission. We need 2 energy and 5 Marines for this. Okay. 3 of the Marines are going to be switched to anti-pod, so the pod ones will be the ones down here on the floor. I need 80 energy again to do this mission. I'm making sure to get in and out of the the Marines armament menu as quickly as I can, because having that selected freezes the in-game timer. Nothing can happen while you have that selected. Which for a normal player playing the game for the first time, let's see, make sure I get this right. Yeah. For someone playing the game for the first time, having access to that, like noticing that the game doesn't advance time at all while you have the Marine weapon toggle selected, can really help. Did he build something, or am I just dumb? I'm just dumb. I needed to go 1 space higher. Alright, so we're killing an extra missile here. Not the end of the world. I needed to go 1... I haven't finished my image notes. I'm using text notes still, so I like misunderstood how far up I needed to go with that landing zone. I've made this mistake before. Sorry. I'll finish the routing images, and then like I'll have a visual guide for where I'm supposed to put everything, which will be way easier than looking at these text, like ASCII driven maps. Okay. That was a guarantee, as is the next attack, which we'll use a pod we'll use a pod Marine for. I'll use the front one here. And I think I'm going to move this to be the last attack in this mission, because then I won't have to kill the anti-air here. It'll save a couple seconds. When you control a Marine, like normally the Marines operate on their own. I'm just moving the camera around. When you seize control of a Marine, you can only control one at a time. It will stop moving forward once it gets in range of something, which I'm using to keep my Marines from running into enemy pod ranges and control which target they go to next. Okay. There will be, even though there's only 1 base left, I want to make 1 more attack before I head up there. So we're going to use the left Marine for this, and I need to go here. If I didn't do this, then the dropship going up to the top of the mountain for the last base would have a very high chance to die. So maybe in future I would try to do this mission without this process, but for now I'm going to do this to make it safe. And I'm going to get this Marine killed to end the mission a little bit sooner. This will become a trend as well. So right there I took control so the Marine doesn't keep walking up the hill. Same deal here. Now he will stop when he reaches the pod, and he won't continue to walk forward. And this time, instead of letting go, I'm going to kill the north anti-air as well. Enemy pods have a 2-space range. So if I go to the middle of the stripe here and then come forward, I can kill this without getting in range of the pod. And then we're just going to let my Marine die. The only ways to end ground combat are to kill the enemy, to be killed yourself, or to let the timer run out. There's no way to abort, so I use that to speed up. Okay, and now the South Marine gets to go kill the enemy base. This is still not a guarantee. No, wait a minute. No, this is a guarantee. Because of it used to not be a guarantee, but I changed that frontal attack to clear more anti-air and not bother with the radar. Which means that dropship I just sent was only up against 5 anti-air. It takes 6 anti-air missiles to kill a dropship. Okay, and that is Artemis done. Next is Poseidon. This is next is a very straightforward mission. There's a tiny chance that I could get shot down, but it's not a big deal. It's like 1% for the next mission. Okay, I need 3 energy, 5 Marines here. And interesting feature of this mission, I don't care about any of my Marines' weapons because I will never be attacked. All I need is 60 energy and the enemy is dead. This mission actually has, in the very center of the enemy island, is what looks like a base, but it's actually a fake. You can do this as well, although I don't know that the enemy AI pays attention to it. I've never tried it before. What? I'm not paying attention. I need 60 energy. I just, like, reflex activated that as soon as the Marines finished constructing. Okay, so we need 1 up front here. If I didn't do this opening attack, then it would be a much harsher chance for me to be shot down on the next attack. And these are all soft targets. There's no gun pods or bases to kill here, so this is pretty quick. I think I did that in the wrong order, but it's okay. That might actually be faster, since it starts me on a higher row. It should be able to get to this last anti-air a little bit faster. I might time that out and see how it works, see how it goes. All right, and now none of our Marines are damaged in any way, and we're just going to go straight for the back. Because both real enemy bases here are reachable by 1 landing zone, which means we can send in 2 Marines and do both at once. And when you deploy the Marines, the first Marine you deploy is the same is the first Marine that you will control if you hit B. So both of them will start going up left here. So I'm gonna place the south one first, just so I can immediately grab control and turn him around. So because I placed that one first in the setup menu, when the battle started, he was the first one my control would go to. Okay, that's Poseidon. Kingdom is a very complicated mission, but I found some ways to really simplify it. Oh, I went to advice. Okay, that's a... I was expecting the intercom with the enemy general right there. That just adds a few seconds of Bowman telling you how the mission's gonna go down, but you don't need that. It's not a big deal. I feel a little silly for doing it, but it's fine. Here, I'm actually gonna set up... I'm gonna move a little bit away so I can set up the bases coming back towards some clear terrain. The reason I do this is because when you're setting the bases, the in-game timer doesn't run. And I want my energy to fill as soon as possible. So we need 4 energy. 1 missile. We need 3 Marines. And I forgot this during practice, but I actually have to upgrade this missile. Okay, 2 of the Marines need to have anti-pod weapons. I'm gonna make them the back ones. And now we need 88 energy. Quite a lot for this mission. I will be sending, I think 4 separate attacks. So 88, okay, and we're good. Alright, the first one's easy. Doesn't matter which Marine I send for this. We just gotta peel some of the frontal anti-air defense. This will be quick. There's enemy bases in the northeast, southeast, and the very center of the map. The center one is very well guarded. By peeling these missiles, I'm reducing some of the cover for the northeast base and the central base. There's about a 1% chance I can get shot down while attacking the central base. That's the only risk in this mission. Okay, now we're taking out the south base. This one is just unprotected. I mean, it has defenses, but there's a side that's completely undefended. I don't know what this general is doing. So next I'm going to try to hit the center base. Again, 1% chance to get shot down here. I'm going to take an anti-pod Marine, but I'm going to get it killed at the end because there's a lot of soft targets, a lot of stuff I could choose to kill in this landing zone. So I'm going to get myself killed to end it early. And then we'll do one last attack to take out this northeast base. Okay, so I'm going to let the Marine go until the anti-air is dead. 2, 3, grab control so it stops when I hit the missile. 2, 3, now walk a bit to the right so the targeting goes onto the pod, but then seize control again. Because I want to kill that pod, kill the base from safety, and then die on the second pod. Whoa, no, 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 no. Oh my gosh, okay. That was a big mistake. I thought I was out of range. I didn't see I was already shooting. So, I'm gonna do that again. No, you know what? There's a better way to do this. And I screwed it up. I need to do this in a specific order. So the double missile first needs to hit the leading anti-air, or there's no landing zone for this Marine. I need the anti-pod. Okay. Because this whole northern peninsula that I'm shooting at here is covered by enemy units. If you try to land your Marines in a landing zone and there's no empty spaces that are not slopes, then you just can't land. So by killing that front anti-air, I've made space for my Marines to make a landing here. If I hadn't done that, this attack would just completely fail and the Marine would go back home. There are two enemy pods here. So again, I'm going to stop myself short, let this pod die, and then kill the base before sacrificing this Marine. I have one Marine left and plenty of energy, but I might get an enemy attack here because I failed at the center base. Okay. Let him course correct. Get the base. So by letting go of the Marine there, I can tell him to just go toward the nearest target, which is faster than turning. Okay, I still have one Marine. If I can get to 20 energy, then the center base will die. 8, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're good. And here, I can use the same exact framing, but this time I don't have to worry about the enemy pods at all, because this is the last base. So that was a little bit scuffed, but we still got it in the end. Thankfully, this mission has a lot of energy plants. Which allowed me to recover 20 energy in just 4 in-game seconds. Next mission's kind of a cool strategy. Okay, and we're good. Don't go to advice this time. This game has text mashing really similar to the Game Boy Color game Shantae, where you are required to hold down the button to advance the text faster, but also newly press the same button to go past the prompts, like when the game expects you to press a button. And so you actually, in this game, it's fast, same as Shantae, it's faster to do it with 2 buttons. Or no, Shantae I don't think lets you do that. Alright, so 3 Marines, boom, 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 1 energy, upgrade both Marines. Both upgraded Marines need to have anti-pod weapons. And we're waiting for 60 energy. Which we're already at, okay. Normal Marine goes to South Base. And again, we're gonna let the Marine die early to save time. Because there's really no way to approach this base without, like, sending a like, both this base and the north 2 bases, which I'll attack in a minute, have so much enemy garbage around them that it's like I would have to spend an awful lot of time, extra time, clearing the area. Okay, and now we just march toward the thing and die. Now we're going to send the 2 upgraded Marines to finish off both remaining bases with a very careful targeting. This will give us a chance to flank the north base on 2 empty terrain tiles, so it will be completely undefended. And also hit the one on the top of the mountain. So you see there that left base that was rather unprotected, rather suspiciously unprotected. So here I don't really have to do anything. It just so happens that their pathing naturally takes them exactly where I want them to go. As soon as the anti-air drops, I'm going to control one of these Marines just as a safety in case for some reason those pods kill that Marine. It's not any slower to do this. But it's not really necessary either, I don't think. Okay, Zyhard. This one pretends to have 5 bases. Again, there are fakes in here, and actually I didn't realize there were fakes when I was routing, because I was routing using maps from GameFAQs from like 2006. Okay, we need 3 energy, 5 Marines. I don't have to change... Or no, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't have to change any of the weapons here. I still have it listed in my notes as anti-pod, but I don't have to do that. So we're waiting for 60 energy. Okay, we'll go northwest base. Killing the northwest base first peels off some of the cover for the northeast base. The 2 central bases are both fakes in this mission. Oh, interesting. This is the base. He's constructing a camouflage unit on top of it, a dummy unit. So that was the front Marine. I have to use a fresh Marine each time here. And the last one I'm going to actually... I'm aiming the last Marine at the base with the most around it that needs to be killed. So that I can skip killing all of that. Okay, Marine number 2, and we need to go here. Those first 2 attacks were guarantees. The last one is actually kind of strict. Highest chance we've seen so far for a dropship to be shot down at 16.5%. I'm gonna aim for this first. Because I'm pretty sure walking toward a gun pod from further away would get my Marine killed. Thanks, Kulain. And he says, I remember routing most of the levels in this game for speedrunning. The last few are so stupid when trying to put together for a run. I think you will be a little surprised. I was surprised how easy they were. There are actually chances to be shot down, but I have some tricks up my sleeve, let's just say that. And yeah, I've been looking at this game for a while and just randomly checked the forums like a month ago and saw someone was already had just made a post saying they were going to work on it. This is where having a routing image would really help me make sure this is all correct. Yes, that is the correct position. If this doesn't work, then I would just launch again. Okay, so the key here, I don't need to kill all the rest of that. I just want to take out the pod, then this anti-air, then go for the base. And that is Zyhard. Next one's kind of a freebie, which we haven't had a freebie in a while, so that's nice. Also, apologies, I can't really see more of chat at the moment. My screen is a mess of documents that are open and stuff. I will check chat in a little bit. I have plans for making my notes a little bit more streamlined and easier to follow. Okay, so here, this is a weird map because it's all checkerboarded with debris. So you have to build diagonally like this. But it's also a very easy mission if you know where to go. Lots of enemy defenses, but there's only one base, and it's actually not very well covered by anti-air. One of these Marines needs to be anti-pod, and it's the first one to use, so I will make it this one on the right. We need 40 energy. These late game missions tend to start you with nothing, except for some money. Okay, pod, and now 40 energy and we can go. This has got kind of a cool trick in it. Or no, this was actually supposed to be... I think I had considered not using anti-pod for this. Did I send that to the right spot? Yeah, I did. Okay. So, the enemy Marines can be stopped by their own defenses. An enemy Marine can walk over bases, but not over missile batteries or I remember now. The reason I have this guy as anti-pod is because the AI for the Marines will cause him to attack this pod. If I put him on normal weapon, he would attack the missile. And then as soon as this other Marine or this other missile dies, I'm going to take control so that I will stop as far away as possible. And this gold Marine is not even a threat. And then conveniently kills me to end the attack early. Alright, now we just have one more attack, which is a guarantee. We take this back Marine and send it to the base. Which is right in the middle in that divot between the hills. There is also a radar on the hill nearby, so I'm going to have to steer the Marine away from that to save time. And that's that. Okay. What language are your notes in? Or are they just in, like, gibberish that only you understand, but also in English? Because some of my notes are like that. Okay. Snarl Shark. So this is a very interesting enemy map. The enemy has 4 different peninsulas filled with anti-airs, but they only have 5 each. And if you remember, a dropship takes 6 shots to shoot down. I'll do the building first while I wait, and I can talk again while the energy is filling up. So I need 2 Marines, 2 energy, 2 Marines, and then I'm going to build a 3rd Marine for safety. Yeah, I need to wait for $5 more. None of these need to have their weapons changed. Okay, so I need 60 energy. The enemy peninsulas are spaced exactly 5 apart. So if you try to go exactly between the peninsulas, you take both fire. But other than that, it's not too bad. Waiting for 60 energy. Okay. First Marine is gonna take it on the chin. I have to control this one pretty carefully to make sure I don't die before I kill the enemy radar. So first I'm going to let him do his thing, but there's 2 pods here. I do not want to get close to this second pod. So after the energy plant dies, I'm going to control the Marine. What? I did that in practice too. You actually, even though it looks like you cannot hit from a horizontal there. You have to be shooting diagonally. Now I can let my Marine die. Okay, now we need to take out the second base along with another radar. Everything is done in a specific order in this mission. There was about a 1% chance to get my dropship killed there. After this pod dies, I will control the Marine to keep him from walking all the way to the base to save a little bit of time. And then I'll clean up the whole area. This is slightly slower than doing this base last, but the north base is better defended. So killing the radar here increases the chances for success. We'll take more risks later once times are established. Okay, last base is really undefended. I have a 0.1% chance to get shot down while approaching this last one because of the radar I just took out there. Let me make sure I get this right though. Like this. Yep. If I go any further north than that, I incur the attacks of more anti-air. Yeah, all I needed was one missile to miss me there, and it's completely safe. Okay, that's the end of that mission. We just wait for the last base to die. Which, if you're just arriving, bases take 23 shots by a single Marine to kill. They also take 6 missiles. They're the tankiest thing in the game. The next mission, Marlian, was a really complicated one to route, and it's not entirely safe still. But there are 3 bases at the back, but 2 of them are fakes, and I didn't know that. Again, I was working off maps from GameFAQs for a while I was doing my early planning, so I didn't realize some of the bases labeled there were actually mistakes. They were just fake bases you don't have to kill. They're decoys. You can also lay them yourself, but they don't really work that well. Okay, so we need 3 energy, 1 Marine. This mission starts you with some Marines, so... I think? I don't have my friendly maps up, but I'm pretty sure you start with Marines here. 1, 2, 3, 1... yes, actually, because they're in my notes. My, text notes. Okay, so we need 1 anti-Marine and 2 anti-pods. And now we need 60 energy. I actually made that... This is actually a suicide strat here. The Marine up here, I gave him an anti-Marine weapon even though he doesn't need it. And the reason this is that he will die faster to a pod. So I'm taking specifically him to this spot to kill a radar unit and only a radar unit. This is almost a guarantee to land. 0.2% to be shot down. But after I kill the radar, I want my Marine to die as fast as possible to that gun pod on the hill. And the fastest way to do that is to give him the weapon that makes him the most vulnerable to the pod, which is the anti-Marine weapon. So he'll die super quickly. It like does double damage against him. Now we have to do the northeast base. This is about a 0.02% chance to fail, since that radar is now down. But the last attack I have to do is straight down the center, and unfortunately there's 6 double anti-airs mounted in the center of the enemy base, so I will actually have an 8% chance to lose that attack. Yeah. My notes are similarly like very abbreviated, so anyone reading them would probably have to do some linguistics, context clues. I forgot a split. Okay, so I just don't split here then. For some reason my splits do not have Marlian. I just noticed that. Okay, so at the end of this mission, I just can't split. Okay, that was the one I already used. The bottom one is the one that's fresh. So we go straight to the back. This again is an 8% chance to die. Fingers crossed. That was a lot of misses. Okay, I think we're good. I still could have been shot down at the end there, but it worked out. Okay. Because I have anti-pod, he's going to go for the pod, which I have to kill before I can kill that base safely. Okay, remember, don't split here. I set up my splits just before stream, so I guess I have to add one in there. The next mission, Qinglong, is the classic example of just ironclad enemy defenses. The center base is so well defended, and there's not really much you can do about it except cross your fingers. Okay. But they do start you with some Marines here, which gives me some backups. I need 3 energy and 1 additional Marine. But I'm going to have to wait to buy the Marine. I'm spending all my money on energy at the start of this mission. We need 100 energy to pull off this entire mission. So we're waiting till we reach 20. Once those 3 energy plants come online, I should reach 100 pretty quickly. No changes to weapons. Just waiting for that 100. Yeah, the energy plants are online, so we should be speeding along. 60. 10 more seconds. 80. 100. Okay. First one, normal, Marine, North radar. Because the enemy anti-air is so intense in this mission, especially down the center, I am taking out all the enemy radar. And thankfully, the 2 radar in this mission are completely exposed, which means not only do I not have to worry about Marines getting hit by anything, but that means also that the dropship missions are over really fast. And the whole mission is also a mirror image, so we're just going north and south. The north and center bases are close enough together that I will be trying to kill them both at the same time. It's very risky though. This is the highest chance for a dropship to fail in the game, this mission. And it's the last attack. Okay, there's number 2. Use that front marine again. This time we're going to kill the base in the back. This is also a guarantee. It's going to greatly wound this marine though. So I need to remember it was the front marine that I used for this. Because one of the marines in the next attack is going to be up against another pod. So right, okay, I see what I have to do. So this is a big risk right here, the attack I'm doing. I need to cover this. Yes, that's correct. Then, okay, so the first marine is wounded. First, we need to land successfully. I'm up against 17 enemy anti-airs at a 25% chance. If 6 of them hit, this goes down. That's... Oh, I think I got like 4 or 5 there. Okay, so we're good. First marine is the damaged one, so I put it there, and the other marine will handle the north one that's defended. Alright, so this one will do his thing by himself. After this base is done, I need to not let this marine kill the missiles next to him, because when you destroy an enemy unit, it causes some lag frames. It causes like half a second of delay, and we don't want that. We want to just keep finishing the mission. So now I'm just going to turn away and wait for the other marine to finish up, which should take another 9 shots because that's how long a pod takes to destroy. Okay. That's Qinglong. I'm really shocked I got through that one first try. Okay, Sakura. 2 marines and 2 energy. So mission 18 and mission 20 are both really stressful. This one is easy. It's like mixed in here, and it's just a dead easy mission. I send 1 marine and I win. If you know where to go, it's a freebie. But it is quite concealed, and there's lots and lots of enemy marines on the field. I don't even need those energy plants. That's just there as a backup in case I fail the 1% chance for this to land. I don't even need to switch weapons. We're just waiting for 20 energy and the marine to finish construction, which should happen around 22 seconds since I was a bit slow. Once we see that marine, we're good. There we go. So, just, this is like a Death Star level weakness in this enemy formation. You'll see as we fly over, there's not much anti-air, but there's so many marines on this. Look at this. Look at this defense. Look at how much this person has. And then I just land in the back where all the missiles are. Oops. And that's the only base in this mission. This is so silly. Alright, well, we're on Sunrise now. Sakura is an easy mission. Sunrise is the one with the nuke. Alright, so this mission does not have amazing chances to succeed. It's still better than a coin flip, but The enemy has a nuclear weapon. And there's 3 very well defended bases. This is not as well defended as Qinglong, but it's pretty well defended. 3 energy, 3 marines. I need to save to 108. And we wait a moment for this. I'm not changing any of my weapons on marines. Okay, there we go. Now I'm saving for 108 and then attacking. Move my notes where I can see them a little better. The notes on this mission are pretty long. We're waiting on 108 energy, which sounds like a lot, but you start with 50 in this mission. 1, 2, there we go, okay. Make sure I get this right. We got a normal marine landing on the west shore here. So this is a 7.5% chance to die. But because of how much energy I have, I could actually recover from this if it gets shot down. If only 2, like, I have to, enemy missiles, at least 2 of them have to miss me. Or no, wait a minute. 1 of them has to miss me, and I'm good. We're going straight for the nuke. So there's 3 enemy bases, north, middle, and south. The north and south are pretty standard. They're what you've seen in other missions, surrounded by resources. But the north, the center one, is just a bristling porcupine of a defense unit, and it has a nuclear weapon in the center. But if I can land the next attack, that nuclear weapon will be dead. Alright, so we took out the front line. Oh, I was supposed to use a missile there. I forgot about that part. I made a mistake. Please don't. Okay. I was supposed to use a double missile to shoot down that remaining anti-air battery on the front, but I forgot to do that. It's right there in my notes, but I guess first run nerves? I don't know. Not really nerves. So, with clearing these anti-air specifically, the nuclear weapon is completely exposed to airstrikes, except for like 1 anti-air battery, which is not enough to stop a marine dropship. But it is just surrounded with anti-marine defenses. But there's something interesting we can do here. This is the biggest trick in the run. I'm going to use the same weak marine that I've used several times now. Aim straight at the back, but I'm excluding the south row of defense here. Remember when I said enemy marines can't walk over their own units? The main part of the nuclear weapon platform can be walked on, but the center can't. See that big weapon platform there? If I land on the east side here and stop my marine in its tracks, the enemy marine here is just going to get stuck on that pit and not be able to reach me. So once he gets stuck, I just keep walking forward. And that's it. Both the nuclear weapon and the center base are now dead. And there's a marine sitting right there conveniently to kill me once I'm done. This strategy is pretty much why Sunrise, the 20th mission, is not just an absolute train wreck. If not for that trick, that base would be a lot harder to get to. Okay, so now we do a fresh normal against the south base. This is also a guarantee. The last attack is going to be about a 16% chance to fail. This attack is a guarantee, but then the very final base is a little bit higher chance to fail. However, I have a lot of energy plants, and the nuke is gone. So I should be okay even if I get shot down. Here I have to clear everything. But the last base, I can just go straight for the base. And based on my mistakes for this run, based on the time it looks like I'm about to get, I would say probably a low 120s is a good benchmark for where we should be when strats get a little more optimized. This is probably going to be like a 122 to a 125. I'm not sure how long it'll take to kill the last base. Okay. Now we just have to cross our fingers. Because this is a 16% chance to die, this attack here. I have a lot of backup Marines, and energy will regenerate quickly, so if this fails, I will have to wait 5 seconds, and then I can try again. I think I'm good. I think there's no anti-air back here. Yeah. Unless he built anything new. Alright, so we just go from this side, we kill the pod, then the energy plant, and then we go for the base safely. Once the pod is down, or once the pod is down, I'm going to control this. Then walk around. And that's it. Well, the thing with the enemy AI, a lot of people just go for the throat and try to peel enemy defenses early in this game. But the enemy AI will ignore you for longer until you first attack it. Uba. So that's why I'm saving up energy and just doing all my attacks at once. You'll find that if you like attack front gun pods and anti-air early on, like when you get to 20 energy or something, you're going to get hit almost immediately after. I noticed that in my runs versus what I saw Guibord doing. Like, he was saving up and it seemed like the enemy was just ignoring him. And so I realized, wait a minute. The enemy AI is, like, you're provoking him by attacking him sooner. So I just stopped attacking until I had everything I needed. And in this run, I never got attacked. Not once. Really short credit sequence. Such an anticlimax. Alright, well, I think I might take a break and refresh the stream and then maybe do something a little more casual. But that was Metal Marines in just over an hour 20.